All right. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allah Haginawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allah Haginawa, Yahweh, Achad. Shema, Yasha'Allah, Yahweh, Allah Haginawa, Yahweh, Achad. All right. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahushai, Bahasham Rachakudash. All right, I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the house of David the elect. Peace and blessings, health and wellness. All right, to the house of David the elect, because we are in times where health and wellness is vital, you know. So not that this is a part of the topic, but sometimes I talk about this before I start the lesson, and that's, you know, making sure that we got some exercise regimen, that we breaking the sweat, that we got blood, we pumping oxygen through, you know, from our heart. You know, that's vital. You don't have to be, you know, this P90X guru, but, you know, it's pivotal at this point that, you know, really it's part of our culture, all right, to eat on the healthy end, you know, to eat less processed food, to exercise more, all right, to rely on Mother Earth, man. And that's probably another topic in itself, you see, to rely on Mother Earth, you know, which is, that's Yahweh's woman, so to speak, you know, when our land is personified as a woman, Jerusalem, that's like our mother. You know, Jerusalem is our mother, but, you know, from on a grander level, all right, on a broader level, the planet Earth is our mother. So what does a mother do? All right, a mother nourishes. All right, a mother nourishes. What is the Mother Earth? All right, how do you say it? Earth is Ratazah. All right, I think it's Ratazah. And mother is Amma. So Amma Ratazah. What does she provide for us, man? All right, she provide for us water. All right, she provide for us vegetation. All right, the clean animals. All right, she provide for us shelter by way of the trees. All right, she provide for us the herbs, the roots. All right, as it says in Wisdom of Solomon 7, wisdom taught King Solomon what? The virtues of roots. All right. Wisdom taught King Solomon the virtues of roots. So going back to health and wellness, all right, well, who they call Mother Earth, Amma Ratazah, all right, provides for us nourishments by way of the food, all right, by way of the roots, the flowers. A lot of flowers that we think are just here just because they pretty, no, they have medicinal value. As a matter of fact, it's a live lesson, you know. Sometimes the spirit, you know, shifts, but I'm going to get into the main thing. But here's an example. All right. This is, I think this is a calendula flower. This is calendula flower. This is really good for the skin. All right. Skin burns, things like that. That's calendula. Calendula. Speaking of flower, okay. And since we are in the house, this is daisy. I had used that for the skin as well. All right, that's daisy flower. Okay. Let me see. Because there's another one that I wanted to use. All right. See, you know, Esau packages things and, you know, he makes seem, let Esau tell it, he made this in his laboratory, but nah. He got this from Amma Ratazah, Mother Earth. You see? All right, this is lavender right here. You see? Now, I got this from a store on Etsy, whitemountainherbs.com. But, you know, I don't know if that's the best edition of lavender. I honestly don't know. I think it had a high rating on Etsy. You see, but I'm just doing this to show brothers and sisters, you know, this is our heritage. This is what clothes us, you see? We're clothed in our heritage. All right, this is part of our culture. All right, and it's not just about, you know, we wearing fringes, and if you could grow a beard, grow a beard. That's part of it, man. But we're supposed to be clothed in our heritage, man, because that's who we are. You see, all right, eating that Mediterranean diet, but it just so happened that the even they say based on statistics, based on studies, that the healthiest diet is the Mediterranean diet. The healthiest plant-based diet is a Mediterranean diet as well. because they say a diet is 80% plant-based is classified as a plant-based diet. So really, the best diet as far as longevity is a Mediterranean diet, which goes back to our homeland. You see, it's called Mediterranean because of the those different lands that surrounding the Mediterranean Sea, which Mediterranean goes back to the word middle terrain. Okay, it goes back to the word middle terrain. You see, I think this. Let me stop saying I think and actually just see if I can pull it up right quick. All right. See if I can pull another one. New tab. All right, Google. All right, etymology. You see? Bread and olives. Hey, brother, those olives are powerful, bro. Those olives, hey, we should really, really, anything that grows from the earth, it's something worthy of studying. Any food that's really mentioned in the Bible, right? It probably has some type of significance to it. All right, it said Mediterranean. All right, it's called Midland. I'm just going to the main points. But in reference to the body of water between Europe and Africa, the sense probably was the sea in the middle of the earth. Woo! The sea in the middle of the earth. So, Jerusalem is the center of the earth. All right, but that sea, the Mediterranean, that's in the center of the earth. All right. All right, the sea in the middle of the earth, Medius, middle, terra, land. All right, which is where you get terrain from, terra, or terra. All right, so middle land. Mediterranean literally means middle land. All right, well, like it says here, but in reference to the body of water between Europe and Africa, the sense probably the sea in the middle of the earth. All right, so the sea in the middle of the earth. So the things that come from that sea, which is in the middle of the earth, are in most cases healthy for us with respect to the dietary law. All right, so we're talking about salmon. I think they have tuna out there in the Mediterranean. All right, which I had some tuna last night and it was awesome. You see, like you grow up in the hood and you eat like tuna and stuff like that, but really that goes back to our culture. You see, salmon, croquettes. But I know for a fact salmon in general, all right, that goes back to our homeland. You see? Olives, the brother put up olives. They have something called the Mediterranean triad, which triad goes back to 3, because it's the 3 things that we culturally ate with every meal. And that would be bread, wine, and olives. All right? Or bread, grapes, and olives, which, the grapes make wine. They ferment into wine. All right? But going back into the lesson, you see, all right, we were not always niggers, man. And Esau, would have you think through his media, all right, through engineering our mindsets by way of something called culture, all right? He engineered our mindsets by way of culture. Esau would have you thinking that being a nigger, which is a brute beast, is superior to being an Israelite man. All right, and he wants you to be in that monstrous state, man. But the thing is, he's not walking around like that in his house. Now he's destructive to everybody else's country, but he's not like that within his land. All right, because Esau knows that you being civilized is more superior than you being a brute beast. All right, that's why I have this scripture, Jeremiah 2:21. It says, "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine," talking about the sons of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" Right? A degenerate plant. And like I always, I ate salmon for dinner, your pa. Salmon is good, man. It's that fish that they got those omega-3s, man. I would like to think personally, fish helps me with my memory. You see, but hey, it said we've become a degenerate vine. So let me get this word degenerate, man, which I go into this all the time. All right, degenerate. All right, degenerate. It says having declined as in function or nature, from a former or original state. So what was our original state? Us being called the sons of Yahweh Bashmi Hawashai, or at the time the sons of Yahweh, the sons of God. All right? And we were living with the laws, statutes, and commandments that were given to us orally, all right, by Yahweh Bashmi Hawashai. All right? So that was that original state, but we've degenerated. If we want to go into the land of Egypt where we had that contract between us and our father, all right, where we had the laws written down in stone. All right, that also could be classified as an original state. All right, but we've declined from that. All right, being brute beasts, having declined as in function or nature from a former or original state, morally corrupt or given to vice. All right, but let me get into those etymologies, man, because when they go into the etymology, it's some stake in that, man. All right. See, we're going to learn how to be royal and how to be upright. All right, it's not being niggas, man. See, a lot of jakes, they come into the knowledge of being Israel, but they can't let go of that nigga way, man. Because that's why they still push their hip hop shit. They still push their rap shit, and they bring it into they incorporate it into our culture, man. And they degenerate our culture. They niggerize it, man. All right, like you're not a man unless you know you a killer nigga. You're not a man unless you grew up in the hood, unless you grew up in the streets. It's like a passage of respect, man. All right, let a nigga tell it. All right. It says to undergo degeneration, Latin, degeneratus. All right, to depart from one's own kind. You departed from the ways of your fathers. We departed from the ways of our fathers. We were degenerates in America. Let me see if I get some more. I know it's one particular. All right, it says Latin, degenerator, from degener, departing from its kind. And they keep saying that we keep departing from our kind. All right, we departed from the ways of our forefathers. All right, started with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, those who were given that covenant. Okay, let me keep going down, though. All right, this is the one right here. This is my favorite etymology right here, my favorite definition. It says, to decline from an ancestral standard. All right? To decline from an ancestral standard. That's what a degenerate is, man. All right? To decline, because D means away. All right? Geneta means your gene. All right? To depart from the ways of your forefathers. You see? Because Esau had you thinking that we were basically tribal and primal in the ancient world, but now we've advanced and evolved to more civilized humans, but that is not so. Really, we're more advanced and evolved right in our homeland, because civilization starts with the obedience to Yahweh Bashmi Hawashai. That's why Esau has these little primal concrete jungle mindsets, man. These little inner city mindsets that's not conducive to the growth of the 12 tribes, man. So 50 years, which really we've been degenerating since the falling away, all right, which was after Yahushai, during the time of Yahushai, you see. But even in Babylon, you know, Esau was able to monsterize us in the span of 50 years, you see. Because we have no power, man. Having become immoral or inferior, all right. So let me get back to the scripture, all right. I see a brother got precept, but it won't let me just expand on it. Brother has Ezekiel 17 and 4. Let me see if I can get that right quick. All right. And I hope you brothers and sisters are doing relatively well, you know, this morning. As Vagina Times Day is being worshipped, I think that goes back to the Vesca Pisces, you see. And that's why our people, we're just enchanted, man. We're enchanted by the ways of Babylon, but we've degenerated from our high holy days, man. We've degenerated from our high holy days. All right? He cropped off this Ezekiel 17 and 4. All right? He cropped off the top of his young twigs and carried it into a land of traffic. He set it in a city of merchants, and that's Babylon. Babylon is that land of traffic. All right, that's why you have cars going to and from. What do they call it? Traffic. That merchant city. You see? But we've degenerated being in Babylon. You see? Because we took on the heathens that are round about us. You've been in captivity, you then got institutionalized in captivity. I was just watching this documentary on YouTube where basically so-called black culture steal from poor Edomites from Europe. Because the southern whites in the South, like I'm in Mississippi, the southern whites in the South, that redneck culture, that low life, low moral, so-called not educated, really not civilized, that really came from the Edomites in Britain. They were of the low class, and they brought their low class shit here. And we been groomed under them. We learned that low life culture, man. This is before rap, but just that country bumpkin, simple. We got that from those Edomites in Europe, man, who are rejects in Europe, just like in Australia. There was a penal colony for Edomites in Europe, man. So the worst of the worst, all right, became the head over us in these captivities, man. The lowlights of the nation of Edom became overseers and masters over us, man. Talk about shame, you see? And those are things that were instrumental into creating simple ass niggas, man. Simple ass Hispanics. Simple ass Native Americans, man. Simple, man. All right. Yahweh Basham Shah planted us a noble vine. Hey, the Mediterranean diet, that's a noble diet, man. All right. The 12 tribes, the laws, statutes, and commandments, those are noble laws. Those are royal laws. Modesty is a royal trait. Doing things in temperance, that's a royal trait, bro. Having self-control, that's a royal trait. You got bitches, they talking about being pro-choice because those bitches don't have self-control. Because they've degenerated into being subject to their fucking instincts. You see, you horny, you would go on some site and fuck random niggas, man. And you niggas, all right, a lot of times you create your own hell because you impregnate all these women, man, without building anything. You see? Men build. This concrete jungle shit, it's primal. It's impulsive. That's the nature of a child. And I got it in the other lesson, and I get it in this lesson. All right? Most High is making us young men and young women, real men and real women. Okay? He's making us real men, all right, and real women. Because prior to waking up into this truth, really we were in a mindset. We were in a mindset of children, sons and daughters. We were immature before we came into the knowledge. All right? Let me see if they got the right definition here. All right? All right, let me see. Child goes back to womb. All right? Let me go to the online dictionary. Just bear with me 1 second. All right, sometimes I just go in the spirit, you see. All right, child. It says an immature or irresponsible person. So the 12 tribes, before we came into the knowledge, hey, we were in a state of immaturity, man. And we were irresponsible. Now, that's not to say certain brothers and certain sisters, they didn't have their stuff together. You might have known how to go out and pay bills and stuff. But really, we were like children before we came into the knowledge, man. Because an American is really a child. If you talk to other people who live in different countries, if you ask them their viewpoint on Americans, they all think Americans are dumb. And all they know is entertainment. That's a child. They don't know about world politics and geopolitics and who did what in this country. All right, only thing they care about is what? Gratification. It's the gratification. And that's likened to a child. And we were engulfed in that culture. You see? See? Being modest. That's the nature not only of an adult, but that's a noble trait. Being civilized where you could deal with a conflict without somebody getting hurt. That's manly, bro. That's a form of being civil. See, Esau don't want you to think that. Esau wants you on this brute instinct to where if you can turn down a confrontation or navigate through a confrontation, that's really being bitch made, man. But really, if you can navigate through a confrontation and come up with a solution, that's noble. That's masculine. All right. And the way I know what I'm talking about through the spirit, because niggas don't carry that same brute beast energy past the fucking hood. That tough guy shit don't survive outside the hood. It's like a Rottweiler that leave his backyard, he lose that little dominance, man. All right? We got time for that shit, man. You know? Yahweh, the Most High is a spirit. Yahweh Shai is a spirit. A spirit is energy. That street nigga energy don't sit well in the house of Yahweh, man. All right? That's like bringing a nigga from the world in your house. It's like you fucking up the atmosphere. He bringing this nigga essence in the air, like Uncle Ruckus from Boondocks would say, man. You see? It's funny. The first 3 children they had for child were like little girls, because American women, they're in a state of fucking children, man. You know? But let me get back to the scriptures, man. You see? Let me go back to Jeremiah 2:21. All right. Well, no. I'm going to go get something else. You know, something else just came to my spirit. You see? All right. Jeremiah 4:22. It says, "For my people are foolish. They have not known me. They are sottish children, or sottish sons and daughters. They have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge." That in itself says everything, man. And let's look up the word sottish. All right? Let's look up that word sottish. Let's get that word sottish, because that's something that we don't use in our everyday vocabulary now. I thought I looked it up. Let me see. Go. Sottish. Drunken, doltish, stupid. All right. This is the Merriam's Dictionary word for sottish. Drunken, doltish, stupid. Let's see what that word doltish means. All right. A stupid person. And stupid is really other words from dope. Stupid is really when you know better and you choose to do the wrong thing. You keep walking into a brick wall. That's our people, man. All right? The street shit didn't work. We had 50 years to see that the street shit don't work. And here they are coming out with drill rap, man. All right? Being a strong black woman didn't work. You've seen that shit for the last 60 years, that being a strong, independent woman didn't fucking work. And you still pushing that shit. But you still fucking. You still getting smashed, man. All right? Other words from sottish. All right? Blind. There are several scriptures that say our people are blind. Hey, it says lit right here. Slang, lit. Our people like saying the word lit now. All right? And you are lit, meaning you're really stupid. Lit up, loaded, looped, oil, impaired. I'm just going reading up different words. Drunken, bombed, wiped out. Yep, through. You see? And the antonym, or the opposite word for sottish, is sober, straight. So our people are drunk in these philosophies, man. These philosophies that they picked up in Babylon, you see? All right? But being a nigga is not the way, man. All right? Being civil, this truth civilizes you, because you have ceremonial laws, or you have judicial laws. All right? You have dietary laws. All right? So with those things collectively, it creates a civilization. It creates a culture of royal people. All right, but if you take that structure from us, we're just left to our basic instincts. We're just living off in the flesh, and we're enabled to do that because of this Roman Empire, man. All right, but I see Isaiah 3:4 repeatedly. So through the Spirit, I'm just going to get Isaiah 3:4, and I'm going to get ready to close it up after this. All right, Isaiah chapter 3. Verse 4, it says, Isaiah 3:4, "And I will give children to be their princes, and babes shall rule over them." All right? And that's Esau evil. That nigga's a child, you see? That nigga's a child. Then our actual princes, all right, our actual leaders, because the princes are leaders, they're children. And just like a child, you could give them a treat and they'll leave off from their responsibilities. All right, they'll forget that they'll forget they're in captivity. You can pay these niggas off, man. All right, but children and babes, that basically means ignoble. All right, it's less significant, man. All right, low lights should rule over them, man. You should be angry at that, man. Hey, but with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shema Rashad by Shema Kakudash, the understar elder apostles and elder bishops, the great millstone rule well. Peace and blessings to us, David the elect, Abba Ba, Kamel Shalom, Shalom.